What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel. And today we're playing some more Trials of Osiris, this weekend on Meltdown, because you know, if you weren't tired of Meltdown after the first time we had it in the past 3 months, then you might have been tired of it after we had it the second time. Well, that's okay, because now you can really get tired of it, because we have it a ding dong dang third time. Exciting, right? Well, that's okay, because I wanted to use a build that got buffed a while ago that I never had time to go and try it again. So now we're going to be doing that today, and starting here with our weapon of choice, it's going to be the Thorn, baby. I mean, everybody loves this hand cannon, if you like 140s, that is. This is just a solid all-around exotic hand cannon. Of course, it has tick damage, which can stop your enemies from healing as they're leaving a gunfight, while you can start your healing as quickly as possible. On top of that, those ticks of damage can burn the enemy out sometimes, but that's not going to happen too often until you proc something like the Soul Devourer here. Now, when you do kill an enemy, you're going to spawn some actual remnants. You pick those up, you get some extra damage, ticks, it refills your magazine, and nowadays with the Catalyst, you can even overflow the magazine. So it just feels really good. The Catalyst also gives it some extra range and stability, which we love to see. And that extra little range is what really brought Thorn back into the meta. Before, you couldn't really use Thorn effectively because it just did not have the range. You would compete with any other run-of-the-mill 140 and you would just get your bussy bopped because you could not compete in those ranges. But nowadays, it actually can again, and it feels absolutely amazing. But what feels even more amazing is pairing it with something beautiful like the necrotic grips here. So this was a little combo that I tried out a while ago before this season started, made a fun little video with it just because I had never tried the combo out, and I had a lot of fun with it. I think I tried it on a Javelin 4 weekend, and it was great. And this map is honestly kind of similar to Javelin 4 in a lot of aspects in terms of the actual ranges you're going to be facing off with most of the time, so it feels pretty good on this map as well. Now, the thing with the necrotic grips is that it actually works with the Thorn. So when we actually kill somebody with the Thorn, they're going to blow up and do a bunch of poison damage to enemies around them. So all the time you're just trying to get poison damage out there. On top of that, you can also get some taking damage from your poison with your melee. It can be just a regular melee, but also with our pocket singularity, which we're going to throw out today, you can knock somebody back with that, knock them up in the air is what I love to do, and they're going to start taking damage, and then you just tap them in the head twice really easily. You get a Soul Devourer proc out of it. It's all just so good, and I love it a lot. Now, for the rest of our armor here, you can see I got the usual kind of kinetic targeting of here. I have some kinetic unflinching. I do have it on SMG here, you're going to see in a second, so I have on one harmonic targeting for that. We have on our heavy-handed, our firepower, and our Reaper mods like usual. You can pause if you want to read these more in depth at any point, but these are just going to let us spawn orbs of power, which we can then pick up using our Innervation, our Orbs of Restoration, and our Absolution mods. These are all just going to give us ability energy back, which we love to see. The last thing that will give us ability energy back is these 2 bomber mods. 2 bomber mods nowadays is going to give us 17% of our grenade energy back every time we use our Rift. Now, when it comes to my secondary weapon, I was looking before at using a Retold Tail shotgun. So you can use that in this build if you want to, but after a while, I was just getting sick of the shotgun fights because I was just getting aped by a bunch of Titans with their shotties and a bunch of the conditional finalities. I didn't want to deal with it, so I just went ahead and slapped on the SMG. Let me give you a tip right now on Meltdown. If you want to have an effective fight, just put an SMG on. They're just crazy on Meltdown because people just rush around corners all the time with shotguns. They don't even think about it, and you can just slap them down easily with an SMG like you'll see in the gameplay today. This one, of course, is my awesome God roll. Small bore, accurized rounds, perpetual motion here, and then rangefinder. Not as good as it used to be, but this thing still slaps, especially with the Viced Sting Your Origin trait reloading the magazine for us in the middle of a gunfight. It feels absolutely amazing. And over here, you're going to see we have our Voidwalker subclass. So we are going to be using the Nova Bomb Vortex, very good for destroying bubbles, as well as anything of that nature, and you get them pretty often this weekend. Over here, I have on a Healing Rift. We have on Blink, of course. If you do want to be a little floaty freak, that's fine, but over here, I'm the Blink Master, and your boy wants to bop some Blinky Bussy, so I gotta have this on. Now, over here, like I said before, we have Pocket Singularity. So many great choices down here, so many. You can see we have 8 open slots here, with all of them filled with awesome, you know, just great melee abilities. If you can't see them, it's because you don't believe hard enough, kind of like the same thing with Unicorns, right, or Santa Claus. So if you just start believing, maybe you'll see the other ones, but either way, just to make it easy for you guys, we will stick with the classic Pocket Singularity. Now, over here, we have on Scatter Grenades. You can use something like Vortex, Suppressor, or Axions, but I would recommend a nice scatter nade on this map. For our aspects, we have on Feed the Void, so we can proc our Devour, get some heals off that, some extra ability energy back, love to see it. And then we have on Clarence, Child of the Old Gods if you want to call him that, but on my channel, we call him Clarence. Clarence is my son from the Void. You put down a rift, you spawn Clarence. You shoot an enemy, he goes out, he sucks them harder than a $5 hooker. He's gonna suck cheeks, toes, lips, whatever he can get his greedy little mouth on, and he will give you back some ability energy. Finishing it off here, we do have our fragments, Echo of Dilation, my favorite fragment in the entire game. High skilled players get a lot of use out of this fragment because essentially what it's going to do is let you crouch and get a very in-tuned radar. You can use that radar to pick apart exactly where your enemies are and see how you want to aggress upon them them or play your range upon them. It's just a lot of information, and information is the name of the game in Destiny 2. You need to read your radar really well so you can know how to fight your enemies. Now, after that, we do have Echo of Persistence. That's going to give your void buff supplied to you, invisibility, overshield, and most importantly, Devour have increased duration. So the initial proc of your Devour is going to go from 10 seconds as usual. With this on, it's going to be 15 seconds. Over here, we have Echo of Expulsion. That's going to give you some nice little intellect bumps. We love to see that. And then when you do get a void ability kill, it's going to explode a secondary time. So if enemies are holding hands with each other, this takes care of them very easily. Now over here, we also have Echo of Vigilance to finish this off, and that's going to give you a void overshield whenever you defeat an enemy while your shields are depleted, which is just very good for letting you get away with that extra bit of health or actually keep engaging upon your enemies. This mixed right here with Devour especially lets you full heal and get shields all the time, so you can be a very aggressive player. And with all of that covered, I think we have everything I need to say. Please, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comment section or join the Blinkville Discord server. I'm going to have that linked in the top right and in the description. If you enjoyed the video today at any point, leave me a like or subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. If you want to go one step further and join my channel memberships, I'd very much appreciate that. Go ahead and click that join button below this video. And quick shout out to my current channel members, including Cranky Panky, Torrential Vortex, Gowley, Captain Cabinet, Deacon Brown, Victor Hun, Ryan Crate, and the creator. Appreciate you guys a ton. That extra support on the channel really helps go a long way so I can make the best content possible for you all every single week. By the way, I made a Power World video the other day, which of course the algorithm struck down because it wasn't a Destiny 2 video. So if you want to check that out, I'll have it linked on the end screen so you can watch it next. It was actually really good, much higher quality than my Destiny videos are, honestly. So, I mean, just saying, if you want a nice little time, go ahead and watch that. It's only 15 minutes, so it's not even that much time out of your day. But all that said, I think we're ready to get in this gameplay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and blink on into it. I have been pretty excited to use this build for a while now. Ever since I heard that Thorn was going to get buffed and I had tried it with necrotic grips, I really loved it. But then it got its catalyst, I unlocked it, but I didn't fully masterwork it until about 2 days ago. Mostly because I have not been playing any PvE, I've only been getting on the game recently to play Trials. And I think if you watch my videos, you know that because I say it every single weekend. The only thing I do nowadays is just play Trials. I don't do anything else on this game anymore. And I don't think you can blame me. I mean, it's just because the game is in such a stinky little nasty sour state, and it's just, I don't enjoy it, you know, it smells. So I don't spend my free time playing this game for the most part. But this weekend I was like, you know, well, not this weekend, before this weekend, earlier this week, I kind of felt like playing a little Destiny just so I get like the story of the season progressed a little bit, so I did that, and I figured I would just use my Thorn while I was at it so I could get this masterwork done, and then I could finally do this build like I've wanted to for a long time, and I was happy that I did it because this thing feels so good now. Like, that range right there, sure, we're hitting like 51 to the head. That there, though, that's max range, I'm pretty sure. I mean, max damage, I should say, and that felt good. I like that kind of stuff because that was the thing with Thorn before. You felt it. When you got into a gunfight, you know, you felt like you were shooting a Nerf gun with the little, like, foam bullets, and they felt like they were shooting, I don't know, let's say a fucking B-52 bomber plane, you know, like, they're in that, just dropping nukes on you, baby. That's what it felt like before. You're taking those 140 hand cannon fights, and you're the one with a Thorn in your hand, which sucks because Thorn feels really good. The kick on it is nothing basically at all. Like, it barely kicks at all, so it's really easy to control the recoil for most people. I know some people don't like the reticle on it, but I, for one, personally really do like it. The tick, like I said earlier, the tick damage is really good for stopping people from healing when they get out of combat. Just everything about Thorn is great. The visual design on it, you know, and the actual exotic perks on it, everything about this gun just feels awesome. So when it didn't have its actual catalyst and it just couldn't compete in certain ways, that sucked. But I was really happy when I got it, and I really was enjoying it throughout the day today. And it took me a little while to get back on, and that's the thing, is like, well, first of all, this round was making me laugh because it's like, okay, I want to fight the second guy, hit him once, so that stopped him from rezzing actually, because he couldn't res while he was taking the tick damage. I was like, please fucking fight me, but I don't know what's more rare, finding a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow with a little leprechaun sitting in it like a little hot tub, or actually getting a gunfight with a solar hunter where they don't throw 60 butter knives at you, but you know, that kind of just proves my point right there. I couldn't just get a regular gunfight with that guy. He's like, let me throw this knife at you, pal. And I was like, cool. I'm going to ruin your fucking life now. Enjoy these pellets, sir. And this is actually when I was still using this shotgun. See, nice 3-tap right there. Taking the second guy there with some damage from the Thorn and necrotic exploding. We love to see that. And that's the good stuff. When people are holding hands, it's so beautiful the damage that comes off of it. I was trying to take these guys out, hit some nice shots there. Did a nice little pellet shotty blast around the wall really quick. And then that guy hits me with a scatter grenade. I was like, dang it. Like, I almost had the clutch up there. And I think that round was where I was really starting to be like, maybe I shouldn't play shotgun. Maybe I should just switch to SMG this weekend. And I've learned this lesson in the past with Meltdown. You know, like I was laughing about, kind of making jokes about in the intro, we've had Meltdown 3 times, guys, in like the past 3 months. I don't know why they keep doing it, but it's really getting annoying. And it's not a bad map. right? Meltdown is a fine map. The thing is, with Trials, you get one map a weekend, and you only get to play Trials 4 days of the week. So when they do these maps over and over and over, you're just kind of like, seriously? Like, you want something new. You're not getting variety at that point. It sucks. But, you know, it is what it is, and it is a good map, you know, a decent map, at least in my opinion. So it's possible to have fun on it. This match is funny. I had to fight some cheaters, and I mean, it's like the whole community knows they're cheaters at this point. It kind of makes me laugh. Got this round over on them, but man, they were just like, oh my god. Instant lock on with their SMGs, of course, Peacekeeper Titans, crouch macros set to the maximum possible interval, so it's just hilarious stuff right there. Crouch macros make me laugh because they're not even that good in Destiny 2, to be honest with you. Like, maybe like screws with controller players or something, you know, I could see that kind of like throwing their aim around with like their friction and stuff, but for M&K players, crouch macros don't really change the fight against us for the most part. I feel like, especially if you're in an SMG fight with someone who has a crouch macro, you're just kind of like, okay, cool. You're literally just throwing your head into my reticle over and over again, you fucking moron. But, you know, it's just funny to me why it's one of those like things still though that these cheaters, whether they're soft cheaters, hard cheaters, whatever, go ahead and put on. I'm always just like, okay, brother. This round was pretty funny. I was trying to find a way to get in there, and that's the thing you always need to be looking for when you're trying to win a round, trying to combat your enemies, is how can I get into a fight with these guys? In a fair fight, at the very least, and if not that, then a fight where I have the advantage. So there I was just playing my radar, you know, crouching around corners so I could get off their radars, while also using my Echo of Dilation so I could see exactly where they were. Eventually I saw him capping, and I knew I could walk around the corner. That's when I threw my Pocket Singularity, which again, like I told you earlier, threw him up into the air a little bit, which made him harder to actually aim at me, because now he has to use his airborne effectiveness and rely on that. So if he doesn't have very good AE, then, well, he's not going to be aiming on me very well. At that point, I was able to just to two-tap him, go around the corner, help my teammate out, and finish off the last guy, and we got a good round like that. So that's the kind of things you're always looking for. You're going to see a lot in my gameplay, no matter what weekend is, if I'm on my Void Warlock, me using this Echo of Dilation. Because what I'm doing, even when I come in here, you know, I'm going to crouch here around this corner sometimes, and I'm just going to look at my radar. Well, not this round, but when it does happen, I'll point it out to you, because that's something I'm always doing. It's like, okay, I see these guys on radar right now. I know exactly where they are without using my dilation, so I didn't need to use it there. But a lot of situations like that, I'll be sitting in that hallway right there, and I'll see they're around the corner from me. Okay, I can see there's two on my radar. Well, now that I've crouched, I can pick apart that all three of them are there. I think I might do it in this round. You can see me kind of crouching a little bit there before I saw, okay, I need to kind of rotate around. And it was a good thing I did. I was able to get a shot on this guy, which helped my teammate take him out very easily. I flew in, used my Pocket Singularity. When you are close enough to somebody, like you're in regular melee range, your Pocket Singularity will do the full damage, like the 100 damage that a usual melee does. But if you're farther away, it's going to do 60. And then I believe the ticks from Necrotic add up to either 30 or 35 damage, because it's 5 damage per tick. You can see them going off right there. For instance, very good round right here where the Necrotics actually go crazy and kill that last guy. And I think it's either 6 or 7 ticks, so it's like 30 or 35 damage. But either way, it's not any amount of damage to laugh at. I had several rounds today where it did a lot of good damage, where I could easily pick it up with a nade or a melee follow-up or whatever it may be, or it straight up might just burn somebody out, especially with good team shots. If you're in a good 3-stack with a build like this, it can be very effective in just taking people out. Now, I just had to go in on this guy because I hate when I get a nice 3-tap on somebody and they just don't die. They're like, dude, nice skill check, also eat my butt cheeks. And no, I just 3-tapped you, brother. You're dying, brother. If I had to blink in, throw you into the ground, the Pocket Singularity, and then mess you up like that, that's fine. But you should be dead right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that is the case. Now, I will warn you right off the bat, if you haven't played so far this weekend, there are a lot of cheaters online, so just be aware of that before you dive into the weekend too much. It is the Messenger Adept is going to be the Adept for this weekend, as you'll see at the end of this gameplay here when we get our Flawless, and you can see the rolls I got on that when we get to the Lighthouse. But just know, there are a good amount of cheaters on today. I saw that a lot, which is kind of like every weekend now. That's kind of why I like weekends where it's like a butt cheek weapon, you know? Like maybe one of those grenade launcher weekends, which, you know, actually there will be a lot of cheaters on those for some reason. I don't really know why. But if it's not that great of a weapon, it's like not a lot of cheaters get on because they're not, you know, getting paid carries or just trying to cheat for their own benefit to get those weapons on their account. And then you just get those like really fun weekends. But this one is not going to be one of those. So just keep that in mind. It's unfortunate, but it's just kind of how it goes. So we got to deal with that. Now, I will say something about this build that I really like is how much area control it has. I always like just Void Warlock in general because of how much area control it has, right? We have Clarence to lock down area. I usually use Axion Bolts, but Scatternades still as well lock down area very well. You can keep people from rushing you very well because you have your Pocket Singularity to push them back, push them up, whatever it may be. And at the same time, we have our blink so we can get out of situations very easily and control areas like that with our radar as we're blinking around on the radar. It kind of scares people, you know? So that's a different way of area control people don't really even think of. But you're adding even more stuff on top of it with the Necrotic Rifts in this build because you have the actual explosion of the Necrotic going off to spread some poison. And on top of that, we have one last thing. It's like Echo of Expulsion, which when we get those ability kills will explode another time. If you could kill somebody with a Pocket Singularity on this build and somebody was touching them on their team, they would get hit by the poison from your Necrotic Rifts and they would also get hit by your Echo of Expulsion. So it would do a lot of damage. You got rounds like this where I saw, okay, this guy's burning. I'm just going to blink in on him. And then this guy was lagging all out of my bullets, so that was funny. I was like, okay. It wasn't as laggy this weekend as some other weekends, but I mean, it's just kind of D2 nowadays. Like, you just feel the lag most of the time. You know, like, you're walking around, you look at an enemy, 1 second he's standing right in front of you, the next second he's fucking Goku Ultra Instinct across the map, and you're like, brother, I do not know what's happening with you right now, but I think your internet might be fucking dial-up or something because you shouldn't be moving like that. Some people do it on purpose, of course. Call that lag abusers. Call that my fist is going to go in their butt cheek and I'm going to spank it up. Put it in there a little bit, you know, shake it around. What if you put your hand in somebody's butt cheeks, right, you know, like in the hole, and then like you shook them around like a boxing glove, and I don't know what I'm talking. Let's forget this train of thought. It's just something that popped in my head. Anyways, getting close to these last clips here, as you can see my journey to getting this flawless, it was a slog. I'm not going to lie to you. Here's how it went, right? I couldn't get more than 1 win on a card at first, and that happened for like 4 resets, I think, and I was like, this sucks. Admittedly, I was still warming up, and since I haven't been playing the game as much nowadays, it takes me more time to get into the game every single weekend, and I'm not playing to like the best of my ability really until like I feel like Mondays really, because I need to warm up the whole weekend, and then I get back into like the swing to a high degree. You know, it's just I don't play the games much nowadays. But what kept happening today is as I was getting warmed up, you know, I kept getting like 1 win. I think one time I got like 2, but it was just painful. Eventually I got to a card and I got 2 wins, and then I lost my 3rd match. And I said, you know what? Screw this. This is ridiculous. I'm just going to stick this card. And I kept going and kept going. I got to 6 wins, right? And I was like, man, this is going pretty dang good. At that 6 wins, load into a match. I had this guy on my team, his name was Gojo, and I had him on my team the previous match, and he was cracked with it. I really appreciated him. You know, we were slaying out in the match before. I think he might be on my team. Is he on my team in this match right here? I can't remember. It's too hard to see because I'm flicking around, but the point is, it was a good teammate, so when I saw he was on the enemy team on the next match, I was like, oh, freaking great. That seems to be my luck. I'm not freaking surprised right now. I think I'll celebrate it with these guys a little bit. Oh yeah, these guys are cool too. We were all just like emoting on the flag together at the end, like, let's go, baby. But we keep going, and then I somehow get to my game 6. I go against Gojo and 2 other dudes, and I'm like, okay, they don't have the best loadouts. I have better range than them. I'm playing my range. I have 2 Void Titans abusing Peacekeepers and Cloud Strikes and their SMGs, you know, just absolute scum of the mill, what you usually see in D2 nowadays, right? They have less brain cells and fingers than they do amounts of skill. So I was pretty sure, you know, they weren't going to be that good, but at least they had the cheese, right? They could cheese their way to a win. No, they were the worst meta-crushing Void Titans I've ever seen in my life. I don't think these guys opened their eyes until round 4. It was putrid. I don't know. It was disgusting. I was like, you guys, there's no way you're this bad. People can't physically be this bad while they're crutching as hard as you guys. But somehow you are. And that was game 6, right? I was out of Mercies, and I was like, man, okay, whatever. Obviously, we're just going to stick this, you know, see if we can go ahead and clap this up. And I went balls to the Wallington on this last match, which is the clips you're seeing here. I was just going in, playing really safe, getting picks like this one in this round. My teammate took out a second one, and then I played my radar and just wait and just take this guy out, right? Rounds like that, and just playing as safe as I could so I could get this match secure. You're going to see these last 2 rounds too. Eventually, I think I finished this match off like 12-1, and I was very happy about it. You know, I get my flawless, and I like getting my flawless as quickly as I can. I think it took me like 2 hours and 45 minutes to get my flawless today, which is good because that's 2 hours and 45 minutes to get my flawless, and then I don't need to get another one for the entire weekend. Usually when I get a flawless on the weekend, I just get it, and that's it. Maybe I'll help some friends get theirs if they need it or something, but I don't reset my card most of the time. I usually just like farm materials, even though I don't really need them anymore. Like I have a bunch of materials, but it's like whatever, I might as well, right? And so I just like to get that out of the way really quick. And then as soon as I have my flawless, then I just don't even worry about it anymore. And then I can just kind of like play for fun, you know, play without too much stress on me. And that's luckily what I was able to do this weekend once I finally got that good card. And you're going to see it here. It's going to be the last round where I actually do get this flawless. Blinking away from this guy over to the side of the map, I knew he had a fusion rifle crutch, but I was able to knock him in the head 2 times, blink in front of my Soul Devourer proc here and let it fly to me, and then I pick it up right there. I knew this guy was behind the ledge here, so I just waited for him to hop up. If he did go down to the right side or come out from the left door, I was ready to flick onto those, but he peeked me there and I was able to take him out really, really easily. And with that, I was able to secure my flawless and go ahead and blink on over to the lighthouse here. You can check out what loot I got if you're interested. And like I said earlier, I did make that Power World video just a couple days ago. I really did put a lot of work into it, and it really shows, I think, in the finished product. I will have that on the end screen. I would really appreciate it if you did watch that video, gave it a like. Honestly, I know Destiny content is like the only thing that works on this channel anymore. And the biggest reason for it is just because there's not enough support from, you know, my main audience on other games that aren't Destiny. And I don't say that in like a fuck you kind of way. It's more just like I understand, because, you know, there's YouTubers I watch that they make a video on a game that is not their main game, and maybe I won't watch it. So like I get it, but at the same time, it's not anyone's fault except for really like the algorithm. Even the algorithm I can't blame too much, because like it doesn't understand, because it thinks after all this time, right, after all these years, oh, the audience is just these Destiny players, so let's keep pushing these every single video he makes to these Destiny players. So I make a non-Destiny video and it's like, ooh, here you go, here's a Power World video, Destiny players, and all these little Destiny gremlins are like, bro, I don't want that. I just want somebody to teach me what to crutch next. And it's like, you know what, that makes sense. So then those videos flop. So if you do want to support those, I would really appreciate it. And I think that's going to do it for me today. So again, leave me a like, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend yourselves. And as always, have a great day, Guardians.